Oh hey, my name is Tendo and I thrift a ton. I'm outside of a Goodwill in Evansville, Indiana. I'm gonna go to all 3 Goodwills here in Evansville today. I thrift mainly for resale, but for lots of other fun things too. So stick around, see if we find anything. Not the worst prices I've seen on video games at Goodwill, that's for sure. $5, that's not a bad buy. It is missing the clip though. Not that hard to replace. I don't know, tough call. Of the 3 Goodwill in Evansville, this is arguably the worst one. It's probably the best one to start with. Maybe we'll end big, I don't know. But honestly, the Goodwills here aren't always that great. Just really depends on when you catch them. This one's busy right now though. What is this? Sculpted silicone art bulbs? I'm buying that. We gotta find out what that does, which is probably good timing because I've got some lighting stuff to do at home anyways. Ooh. Probably against my better judgment, I'm leaving the Fortnite Nerf gun behind. The Fortnite ones sell so well for me. I'd probably put 20, 25 on it, but without the clip, I don't wanna. Parents are gonna buy it anyways, and then get home and their kids are gonna be upset when they realize the clip isn't there. I'm just not gonna do it to them.
Would you like a receipt?
No thank you.
Okay. You have a good rest of your day.
Yeah. If you're somehow new to the channel and watching this, I've got a video gaming setup that is increasingly well lit, and I've got new things to install there today. And I'm always buying new weird lights to see how they show up behind me on camera. It's honestly a lifelong obsession. Most of my adult life, I shot and edited video for a living, and it's always fun to be artistic with what lighting and how lighting looks in shallower depths of field. So that gets me going. That gets me excited, but not a money-making find. And honestly, you know, I do the thrifting itself for the reselling, but can't exactly say I do the videos for the reselling because, you know, I'm very likely to go to all 3 of these Goodwills here and not really leave with anything money making. But that's okay. I'm in town doing other things, and I'm gonna thrift while I'm here just in case. Just in case I walk in the moment they put out that $100 Ninja Turtle, etc. But before I go to the next 2 Goodwills, it's time for some Chick-fil-A. I've been invited to lunch, so let's do that. That Goodwill I was at shares the parking lot literally with the Chick-fil-A, so I don't have long to go. But let me ask you a question on the way over there. Do any of you, do you shop and or resell at antique malls? That's question number 1. Question number 2 is, what do you call them? I think most of the people I know that have something to do with them, they call them vendor malls, and that's way more apt of a descriptor of a name. I just grew up with them being called antique malls because of my grandfather. I can't change. My vocabulary's set and I just can't think of any other term. But even just now, someone's texted me about the vendor mall, and I'm just like, yes, I need to say that. Because me, all the stuff I buy, it's not antiques. I mean, it's getting there. Some of the toys, I guess, if you want to go by technical definition of the age and time frame. But what do you call them? But I am curious how many people watching actually do antique mall stuff, because there really was this point several years ago, right before COVID and during, that I sort of blew up on YouTube in that small vendor mall sphere. And I've got some stuff to do and say surrounding them that I think would be helpful to people doing them, but I also don't think I have that core audience dabbling in that I did once upon a time. So I don't know how useful it would be. I know plenty of you would be cool with seeing it, but I don't know. I want to gauge how many would like to hear more about what I've got to say about antique malls, because I've gathered a lot of information over the years. Goodwill number 2 probably averages out to be my favorite. The next one we're going to is like the newest one, so it gets a lot of the good stuff. This one's Old Faithful. This one's Old Faithful. Oh, this is pretty wild. Still not quite worth getting, but like second time this week I've seen some video games around here that aren't completely unreasonably priced. We got Blu-ray. Don't know how much they are at this Goodwill at all. I don't have any idea. I'm gonna probably hold on to them and hope they're $1. I really get the feeling they're not, though. Also, I want these. $6.99. Man, that's tempting. I need one. I need one. You know how much the Blu-ray and DVD are?
99 cents.
All of it's not? Okay, thank you.
You took my card. I thought, who took my card?
See if we can get these for $1.
Where's my card? I didn't know for sure that.
I'm checking prices on some of the games around here, see if they're worth it. Ultimately not. Your boy do need some new shoes. Very happy with that purchase. All $1 piece, even the Western seasons. I don't plan on keeping a lot of media for myself. There is a handful of things I'd like to have long term, and the West Wing on DVD, pretty good one. I'm sure it's available out there somewhere on Blu-ray, and maybe if I ever find it, I'll upgrade it. But keep those, and the other ones are the last 2 Harry Potter movies, which I'll put in my antique malls. Now we got one more stop, the final Goodwill, the final boss. Funny enough though, while I was in that Goodwill, there was a guy from the antique mall, vendor mall scene, and I was just having a long conversation with someone at lunch about sort of it being kind of a small community. You know, people know who people are. I definitely recognize him. I recognize that guy from a couple different malls. He was in there buying books for his booths. That's pretty funny. It'd be like that. Now, mind you, as I pull up to this Goodwill, that the one I'm going to is in all technicality the Goodwill that was where the Goodwill outlet in this town used to be. They moved this Goodwill and the local headquarters into this building, and then moved the Goodwill outlet into the old Goodwill building. Interesting little thing. This video is not going to have the Goodwill bins on it, though I think in yesterday's video, as of posting this, it was a bins video, so go back and watch that if you haven't. But typically you want the Goodwill bins space to be a pretty big one, which I think the floor space in here is bigger than the Goodwill bins. But of course, it probably doesn't have the back of store warehouse that that place does. I don't know exactly. I don't know what made the decisions they do, but this is the newest Goodwill in town. And to be honest, I've bought very little here thus far, but you never know. Things can turn around. $1.99 paperback. Those book prices are a little high for me. Furniture here is usually pretty good. Ooh, there's an organ. There was a piano, electronic keyboard, old Yamaha that was here last time. I regret not buying, because I already had it, but it was in box here, which is kind of cool. Should have bought it and sold the other, but it'd be like that. So everything I bought at these 3 Goodwills ended up in my antique mall. You can probably already spot the one weird thing I bought. I really do have a thing for weird light bulbs and lighting things, but this is not as awesome as I kind of hoped it was. I hoped it maybe had a flicker or something. Because most of my consideration for light bulbs is just what they're going to look like on camera. So it just is, in the background of anything, is going to be a purple bulb. But the real question is, why do these artistic bulbs exist? I looked them up on eBay. They're listed pretty high, but not a lot of confirmed sales. But there is just this brand of artistic bulb where they're all weird. So maybe I'll keep it in my lighting box that I do keep, and down the road, if I find a few more like it, I'll make one lamp with 3 different wild bulbs or something. I don't know. We'll see. But It is good for me to know that these Goodwills in this town do have $1 Blu-ray and media as well, because I'm really trying to get to where my antique malls have just tons and tons of media, all books and things, and Blu-ray, DVD. I'm going to start adding that to my rotation when I'm really just out looking for media. So thanks for hanging out. Do me a favor before we get out of here, check the links below and consider coming and following us over on Twitch and the Shark TENDO YouTube channel, because the other half of what I'm doing in my own content creation is streaming on those platforms. Otherwise, thanks for hanging out with us. I'll either see you on one of those live streams or I'll see you here tomorrow. Either way, until then, peace out.